You're about to enter a place that exists just beyond the ordinary, a space defined by giving and receiving. It lies between what is known and the unknown, but is most often found between need and ignorance. You're crossing into a realm where meaning reveals itself in unexpected ways. You've just landed in an out-of-the-way town we call Graceland.
I'm your host, David Michael Elliot David. Attention, you are being sworn into Graceland. Please raise your right hand. The 5 tenets of Graceland are: there is no lying here, there's no need for it. No cheating, we don't see the advantage. There is no stealing, it's not even a thought. Bearing false witness, we hear no evil, we speak no evil. And 5, we respect another man's wife. It's simply not worth the consequences. Now, we are about to take a journey, and we are now on the deck of an aircraft carrier in Pearl Harbor. The date is December 7th. That date will live in infamy. I want to talk to you about some very interesting patterns I see. I'm going to make a comparison between 1945 and 2025, and I'm asking you if you see what I see. By the time the war was over, 16 million Americans had served, and roughly 4% of the world's population was touched by the conflict. There was no great divide. Politics wasn't the centerpiece of our daily life. When men came home, they got settled in, they started making up for lost time. Families formed, young couples got married, children followed, about 3 per household. It's important to note that divorce was rare at this time. Newly built houses became neighborhoods with roads that led to public schools, local retail, and nearby factories or farms. New consumer inventions like the electric blender, upright vacuum cleaners, and the automatic toaster didn't just make life easier, they fueled factories, steady work, and economic momentum. We loved our veterans. After serving the country served them. We gave them every advantage: education, affordable home loans, and access to work. We deliberately grew the middle class, and just like that, an updated version of the American dream was alive and thriving. Patriotism was taught in our schools. Kids did the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. Do you know the Pledge of Allegiance? Here's a refresher course for those of you hearing it for the first time. Repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Back in the day, we took pride in buying anything with a Made in America label on it. We moved forward together and into an industrial economy built on long-term productivity. Fun fact, back then the average house was 4 to 6 thousand bucks. Interest was around 3 to 4%. That wasn't an accident. The government understood that a strong middle class meant stability and a reliable tax base. At the time, our government's objective was simple: economic growth and political stability. Government spending didn't replace effort, it unlocked it. Small businesses grew, infrastructure expanded, and private industry had room to breathe. America wasn't all work and no play. This is when a new culture took shape. I'll call it burgers and hot rods. In the 40s, the McDonald's brothers quietly started it with 15-cent hamburgers served along with fries and a Coke. Fast food was spreading across the country. Veterans came home with skills and confidence, and for fun, they built souped up hot rods out of old Fords and Chevys. Friday night meant cruising to the drive-in, jukeboxes. Movement wasn't excess. We were just blowing off steam and living what became an American lifestyle. For a long time, the builders still outnumbered the agitators. Productivity drowned out complaint. We were moving forward. But quietly, something else was forming. A man named Saul Alinsky began refining a different approach. He kept working it, testing it, sharpening the idea, and put it into a book published in 71 called Rules for Radicals. Then something shifted. A new kind of voice started to emerge. Voices that didn't build but criticized, provoked, and challenged. I'll call them the disruptors. At first, there were a few, mostly ignored. But over time, the media started to notice something important. Disruption draws attention. Prosperity was slowly replaced by discontent and loud complaints. Clarity became agitation. A real divide started to form. Political boundaries expanded and positions hardened. For the first time, opportunity got pushed into the back seat. Success became suspect, achievement was framed as oppression, division became currency. And here's the thing about the disruptors: they don't build anything, they tear down whatever they touch. With disruptors came their disruptive disciples, believing everything as if it were etched into granite. They started repeating slogans, rejecting opportunities, saying no started to feel righteous. What was once fair in an open playing field started to feel like an obstacle course. This just in, a bulletin from Graceland's Department of Pattern Recognition. Please lean in for this important notice. History doesn't repeat itself, but patterns do. It's the same forces in different costumes. After changes upon changes, we're still pretty much the same. Back in the day, we had pride in our country. We knew who our friends were and who the enemy was. Today, the enemy isn't clearly defined, so we turn on each other. Right here at home, it's a divide that's been growing steadily for about 30 years. And as Abe Lincoln famously said, a house divided cannot stand. Now, let's look forward to 2026. From the White House, we hear a clear shift: deregulation. Trillions of dollars are being invested into American industries, and a real alternative to traditional banking is emerging for the first time in our history. The government is signaling support for new financial systems, including cryptocurrencies, giving people an actual choice. Energy policies are changing too. Drilling, refining, and investing across all forms of energy. Nuclear has come a long way since 3 Mile Island. Smaller, safer reactors are expected to come online. When energy flows, opportunity flows, jobs return, life starts to feel good again. But here's the deal: Humpty Dumpty isn't going to get back together again just like that. A divide that takes 30 years to create could take 10 to 15 years to fix. Today, the left and the right have turned against each other, with hate shouting so loud it obscures the middle ground. Made up enemies, stories not rooted in truth, tabloids stating endless grievances and making endless accusations. Where does it end? It doesn't. The disruptors thrive on this. They trade in confusion, conflict, and dependency. But the good news is, in Graceland, truth destroys power built on chaos. When belief becomes identity, evidence becomes invisible. Human belief systems, years in the making, replace observation. People stop listening. People stop seeing what's right in front of them. The media tells you things are bleak when in truth each day is opening new possibilities. Hate is a powerful drug. Once it outweighs openness, vision is lost. Simply put, you can't recognize the truth if you're addicted to believing lies. Now let's look around. Each day we hear what the government is doing and what it plans to do next. We're seeing action, real actions. The middle class is being rebuilt. Good paying jobs are returning. Supply chains are coming home. America is moving towards a 1945 moment. I'll call it 1945 2.0. And here's something worth noticing: the burgers and hot rods never died, they just evolved. The 15-cent burger is closer to $15 today, and those broken down Fords and Chevys have been replaced by Ferraris and Lamborghinis. And they go faster than the fastest car alive in 45. Creating and moving forward is possible. It's just priced in 2026 dollars. And that's the pain. But what if conditions are ripening again? What if you can afford that burger and maybe your fast car isn't an exotic import? The new American made Corvette is proof we've got the class, speed, and style built here at a price you just might be able to afford. Do you see that today we have the same fire, same spirit as we did in 45, but now it's 2026? The same story, just a different chapter. And it all points to opportunities for the hardworking, blue collar, ride or die crowd. Now is the time to stand up, open your eyes, and step forward. If you think the American dream isn't back, you might be looking in the wrong direction. The flag isn't behind you, it's waving directly at you. AI automation and new tools are moving in every profession, not to replace purpose, but to unlock imagination. Be present, weigh your options, get your backfield in motion. The future isn't tomorrow, it's more like yesterday. It's happening right now. In Graceland, we call that transparency because when you know, you know. You're living in America first, in that out of the way town we call Graceland. I hope you see the patterns clearly and you put your right foot in. I'm David Michael Elliot David. If you've enjoyed this program, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share. We're trying to get there with you. Have a great day, and we hope to see you again in Graceland.